All right, guys and ladies, this is going to be your project. You're going to need Visual Studio. I don't know which version of Visual Studio you'll have on your computer. If you got 2017 or 2019, you should be all right. I got 2019 because that's how I roll. If you're not sure which one you got, just look for the date on there somewhere. You can go to Help and then about Microsoft Visual Studio. If you got 2015 or 2013 or something like that, you might want to go and check it out. See right here, it says I got 2017. I could swear I saw 2019 someplace. Oh, maybe it's telling me that I should update. Anyhow, I'm gonna roll with 2017 on this computer. My personal machines, I have 2019. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a Windows Form app. Okay, we're limited on our features on what we can use Visual Studio for because you don't have full-blown paid subscriptions to Visual Studio, even if you do have a Microsoft account. So there's some limited features that you have with this. So what we want to do is use Windows Form app. This is actually a good tool to start learning how to use. It's a quick way to start developing software on the fly, and you can actually make some you can make anything you can imagine right here. Okay, so this tutorials are going to walk you through the same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly get you up and seeing a project and kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to do it. You're going to figure this out on your own. That's why you're in advanced computer science, because you are special and you're smart. So right here, make sure you give it a name. Don't give it something stupid like Windows Form App 1. Okay, give it your name, all right? Because I'm going to end up seeing these things. So I'm going to call mine Patent with 2 T's instead of 3 T's. Patent R multiple choice quiz. Boop. There we go. And then make sure you save it to a location. Visual Studio defaults to repos. You'll see a lot of people in tutorials, they have different locations. It doesn't matter. What's important is you know where you're storing your files. Okay, if you don't know where you're storing your files, you got some issues. Okay, so figure that out, where you're storing them, and make sure you stay consistently updated on these things. Now, just so you know, if you use Microsoft OneDrive, it works genius levels of awesomeness with Visual Studio. It's almost like imagine how GitHub works with keeping all of your repositories back and forth and stuff. If you're using OneDrive on personal machines and across the board, it's really, really, really good. So if you got OneDrive, roll with it. If you don't, then don't. Okay, so we're going to create ourselves a Google form. A Microsoft form. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a Visual Studio multiple choice quiz. Okay, the questions are going to be in a particular format. I'm not going to so much tell you what kind of questions to write or ask. We'll get to that later. What you need to create is some sort of default type questions. Okay, nothing super serious, just you can make a real simple multiple choice math type questions, but I'm more looking for questions where it's going to be string information inputted into the form, so that way we have to say with a definitive amount of accuracy that it's either going to be choice A, B, C, or D. I don't want an open choice answer type system where you give them a math problem, then they have to go into some sort of text field and type in the answers. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something where you're going to put in a question. The question is going to show up on the screen, and then from there they're going to be able to have a 4 choices, and then they'll click on the correct answer choice, submit the answer. The program tells them whether they got it right or wrong. Then they go to the next one, and you'll look at the rubric, and there's going to be some different scoring for this thing, where you're going to get graded on 1, can you even make a multiple choice quiz in Visual Studio with giving the user feedback on right or wrong? 2, can you import questions into Visual Studio forms here and get those questions from a third party? I would recommend using Excel, because Excel, you can set everything up in CSV files or a text document if you want to go that route, which I don't recommend. I'd figure out how to get CSV files in here. That's the money system right there. Or you can even set up an SQL database here on your computer where you can be importing the records from the a relational database where you can just import all that information into the form and create your question repository based upon that data coming in. I will say the SQL database and Excel, those are probably going to be your best bets to be able to get 100 on this thing, and you're going to have to figure out how to do that. It's highly doable, because guess who makes Excel? Microsoft. Guess who makes SQL? Microsoft. guess who figured out we should have Microsoft Visual Studio work with Excel and SQL? Microsoft, okay? So don't cheat yourself in thinking that these won't work with each other. Hold on, I gotta yell at some students right now. That's right, get out of here! Okay, back to the video. So let's set up a temporary look on what this is going to appear to be. Over here you got your toolbox. Yours will look a little different. You'll figure out from watching the videos on where to put everything. So we're going to put our toolbox right here. You know, we could put in something like, say, this is going to be, say, the question number. Let's just say number 1. Yours should be on the fly though. It's like it shouldn't just say question number. Over here you can adjust all the fonts and different stuff. I'm not going to sit there and do that because I'm not sitting here making it for you, okay? Then let's say right here below that, let's space it out. This will be the actual question, okay? There we go. Why is a chicken? Okay, this is not going to actually be a chicken, okay, but you'll figure it out. What I would do next is, let's say, I would go roll with some radio buttons right here, just because I think those are the easiest thing to do. So I'd create a radio button. Then I'd make, like, say, 4 of them because I have 4 multiple choice questions. I probably would come over here and group these things. Let's see. I probably should put those inside the group to begin with. Is that going to connect? Yeah, there we go. So let's get those bad boys in there. This is not a good strategy, what I just did right here. Because, well, yeah, it is. It doesn't matter. All right, so that would work. Boop. Delete you. So we got our radio buttons with our questions or our multiple choice. Selection options right here. You know, you can just have different radio buttons. Those are the titles of the radio button, okay? You don't want to try to feed in the text to the radio button, okay? Because that's not going to be good right here, okay? Because that's not what you want. If you want to, you can call it A, like answer choice A, or if you want to come over here and call it maybe like 1. Okay, I'm just giving you some different options. You want to come over here and like call it nothing. That's an option choice too. Or right over here, whoa, man, wow. Okay, so when you double click these things, it brings you to the actual programming side where we'll start programming this. I'm gonna let the tutorial videos explain that. I'm not gonna get in that business. So right here, anyhow, with our radio buttons, you know, you can change what's going to appear out there. The text won't really affect what's going on. The radio buttons are, I'm just gonna leave this one blank, because we're not trying to do anything. If you wanted to, actually, you could come in here and change the text to, let's see, let's have some fun. Where's the font? Dun, 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 doo, 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 doo. Computer science for you. Computer science for me. We all love computer science. Tweedledee-dee-dee. Oh, here we are. Wingdings, yeah, there we go. All right, so you can put in wingdings. Well, I think that's a fish. All right, anyhow, so you got your multiple choice boxes right here. Then scroll down a little bit more. And then from here, hold on. I don't want that one. Back to my pointer. So I want this group box, limited size. Actually, I'm gonna let you figure this one out. I got some ideas. I guess I would stick with a group box, but I'm gonna have my text box. And then I'll create a text box right here. It's going to be lined up with that one. And here would be like the answer selection. Okay. And then from there, you know, we would just, you know, create one for each one of the radio buttons. You can have multiple ones. I wouldn't go more than 4 or 5 because you're actually making this for a reason. And then over here, let's create some buttons. That'd be like the next button, like, yeah, let's call this one. Whoa, get out of here, man. That was them letting them know that you don't have to worry about being tardy today. Okay, that won't apply into the real world. They don't ever say, hey, everyone can just show up late to work. They're not going to do that. Okay, so right here we got our submit button. Then we should probably have some sort of text box for feedback. Where's text? If you ever can't find anything what you're looking for, here's a tip. just come up here and type it. Okay, so I got my text box right here. This is going to be the feedback. Okay, let's say we want a label actually for this one, so I'm gonna put a label right above it just so everyone knows that's going to be feedback right there. So there'd be feedback where you tell them like right or wrong right here. And then we would have like say another text box. Now notice there's a rich text box. Figure out what that does. It's kind of cool. Let's just say they got a score up here, and I'm just going to copy and paste this over here. And then let's just say that's their score. And then over here, you would actually feed in the code to this through the form programming side over here. That would actually feed the score into it. Submit button. And then I want to, let's just make this kind of look somewhat stylish. There we go. And then let's say that's going to be next. And then here we can say they can go back and look at previous questions. Okay, you don't have to put it exact like that, but something of this nature. So you're going to have some sort of form like this that's going to feed in question numbers, okay, all through code. It's going to ask a question right here. This text box is fluid and dynamic. It'll adjust size based upon the information that you're giving it. The group box will host the 4 different answer choices. You don't have to put in a group box. You can just have radio buttons associated with a text box. You can tie these into each other, okay? So these can all link to each other somehow, some way. What's important though is that you're going to get this information fed into this form from either the code, which is not going to earn you as many points as other places, okay, or you're going to import it in through Excel or SQL, or maybe you got some other choice option out there. And then also the randomization of the questions. Okay, so look at the rubric. I'll show it to you later. It's pretty self-explanatory once I figure out what it looks like. And yeah, that's right, I haven't even made it yet. So when you make this form, there will be some attributes and behaviors of this particular form that allows the randomization of questions and randomizations of answer choices, along with keeping a score. And there's also going to be a point on the rubric where you have the ability to export this information out, and we'll figure that out as we go along. I'm going to tinker with some stuff, see if you have access to these particular things. I'm looking for some sort of online like cloud storage system that everyone can send all their information to. I don't know if you'll have access to that. I know you can do it with your personalized accounts, but I don't know if I can create a centralized one that's through a shared link that you would have access to. Or maybe you just create your own. No idea. Experiment with that part. That may not come out in this project just because of the complexity. All right, so there you go. That's it in a nutshell. Make it look a little bit nicer than this. I was just doing this on the fly because I only have 14 minutes to record this video, and I've got about 30 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and answer any questions right now that you might have for me. All right, so first question up. Who's got a question? All right, so the question came to me. What do we do if we don't know how to use Microsoft Visual Studio? All right, here's the answer. Go to this place called Google and look it up. There's another resource called YouTube. Tons of resources. You'll figure it out. Okay, next question. What if we don't know what kind of questions put in here? Well, that's a great question. You should put that in your form, okay? And give it 4 answer choices associated with it, okay? Come up with the questions. If you can't think of questions, then go out there on Google and find questions to stick in here, okay? Make it real simple, like who's a celebrity you're attracted to. I don't know. Get something out here on questions. Figure it out. Give me probably about 10 to 15 different questions, and in the rubric I'll define what kind of questions you should be using. Okay, the other question is, what if we can't figure out how to do all this stuff? Well, guess what? Figure it out. You can do this. That's why you're getting the big bucks. When you go work for your company, they're going to tell you to do something that you don't know how to do. They didn't hire you for what you know how to do. They hired you for what you're capable of doing and your aptitude. You all are super smart. You're super geniuses. I I love you being in my class. I'm so proud of all the hard work you've done so far and your patience to tolerate me. I know you can do this. You can figure this out. So good luck, and we'll see you in class.